Loch Maree is a long and rather straight, glaciated loch that fills a glaciated glen in the northwest of Scotland. It's dominated by the magnificent Slioch Munro. That's a mountain over 3,000 feet. The environment that surrounds it is very rugged. There are wonderful fragments of ancient woodland, mostly Caledonian pines, and lots of scattered erratic glacial boulders. All round it's terrifically exciting from the point of view of colour and texture. This is an uncommonly fine day for Scotland in the middle of winter. I'm looking to explore well away from the road, so I'm going to walk down into this bleak moorland behind me, down to the loch shore, about 1 kilometre away from the road or so. Never been to this spot before, so really looking forward to seeing what I can find there. There's a dead tree on the rock behind me, and it's looking potentially really, really interesting. The textures are beautiful. I'm going to see if I can make something of it, just handheld to start with. ISO, try 100 here, and now go with a 40th of a second. Shapes are just amazing, and the colours too. I think, especially as the sun goes down, this may be one to come back to. So let's see if I can make it work. Wonderful arcing shapes across the middle of the composition, quite soft, not too contrasty, just using a little bit of a grad. Approaching these two old dead trees, that looks like an obvious framing device. The rocks in the foreshore are creating a really interesting, almost improbably perfect arrangement to, as it were, entrap the reflection. That looks like my picture. I've used graduated ND filters for balancing light now for 25 years, and although in theory with raw files you can get away a lot of the time without using them, I just prefer to use them, partly because I always have done, and because it works really, really well with digital. Anyway, it means that you get better shadow detail, less recovery to worry about, and less likelihood of clipping highlights, so it makes sense to continue using them as far as I'm concerned. Here I'm shooting with the standard lens. Very, very simple composition structurally, but quite complex textures, so it's really important to get all of the alignments absolutely right. And actually alignment is a big, big part of what composition means to me. Once I've got an idea on the way, then I try and clarify all of the elements within it, and everything else looks after itself. Sometimes it's a little bit deceptive to know whether everything's level, and that's when it is actually really handy on the IQ with a built-in spirit level, which this time shows it's spot on, which is pleasing. Nearly ready to go here. Let's check the position of my grad. That looks pretty good. And make sure that when I shoot, just check that I've got slowest possible ISO on. The native, which is 35, and which means I need to drop the shutter speed down to 15th, I think. In fact, I'll go further and use a little bit more depth of field. F11 should be fine here. Quickly check the exposure. That looks good. I'm going to allow the camera to determine focus because it's extremely accurate, and shade the filter so there's no risk of flare, and shoot. The instant feedback is really reassuring. That shows me that the exposure is correct, and since I'm just about to lose the sun behind the ridge, it's really nice to know that's the case. quite often I only need to shoot one exposure. It's really quite something. It's quite astonishingly liberating, I think, to work with a device like this, knowing that you can actually, you might be able to make some pictures of really unlimited enlargement size and exceptional quality without having to use a tripod. It's completely counterintuitive. I'm looking at them from time to time, just checking them at 100% on the back, and where they're sharp, they're absolutely fine. This camera is truly hand-holdable. It's sometimes a challenge to know which camera system to take. If I take the 645DF, it is for a kind of faster working process where I'm going to respond to things more spontaneously. As an all-rounder, it's a fantastic camera. If I am absolutely certain that the requirements for the shoot are textural and a lot of receding planes, then I may be inclined to take the Linhof Techno, because the additional camera movements give more focus control, so that is, in certain situations, a better bet. Moonrises often work best if you use a long lens, because then the moon is not diminished too much in the frame. Once I've plotted the likely arrival of the moon, I'm also looking to make a composition that can be shot, if possible, with a longer lens. If I can also do that in a place that will reflect the moon, you're increasing the kind of sense of depth in the image.